presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Well, and a pleasant good evening live outside the patio of the Rising Eagle Brewery in Elgin, Oklahoma, site of a very historic event. Many of you already know what that is. The Elgin Owls are in the semifinals for the first time in school history, and we are excited to talk all about it. Now, we're going to talk about a bye week, too. That's a very strange thing when you get to this point of the year, because usually they say, hey, if you're practicing after Thanksgiving, that's a very special time. But then when you add the fact, okay, well, you're practicing Thanksgiving week, but you're not going to be playing that week. You're going to have to wait the next week. So if you don't know, we'll kind of tell you that the OSSAA has had 3 now new champions that will be crowned this year because they split the A's, the 2 A's, the A's, and the B's. So all of them have been added. So there'll be, for the first ever, a 2A champion, an A2 champion, a B2 champion. And so now you have 2 weekends because you can't do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and fit them all in. So that's where they created the bye week, and you'll see a lot of 5A, 4A, and C, Class C, doing semifinals this week. And so that means the finals for this class won't be until December 13th and 14th. In fact, I think 5A is the last state championship game going to be played on Saturday. That's going to be the last one.
Yeah, I think 4A for us would be at 1 if we're able to get to that point.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll be in the afternoon on that Saturday.
Well, we want to be able to bring in bring in Tom, and I'll say Tom with an H. And I said, I've never seen or heard of Tom with an H. I know Thomas, yes. That's where I get the H. And I don't know where that came from when Thomases became Toms, that they ditched the H. But hail to you for keeping the H. How cool is that?
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your setup. I know we were talking during the setup there. You're a little bit over a year in business here, and Elgin community has welcomed you. So tell us a little bit more about what you have to offer here.
So here at Rising Eagle Brewery, we craft all our own beer by me. I'm the brewer, owner, everything.
You wear many hats, huh?
Wear many hats. Family-friendly, dog-friendly, and we have a pub-style menu, a little bit of everything.
You also have a menu of food items, and it was just in there, and we're in the back patio, by the way, and the blow torches of the propane tanks are nice and comfy out here, so you can entertain. But pizza, I've noticed that must be a popular thing because I've been seeing pizzas come out the window at a fast rate.
Oh, very popular. It's a brick oven, pizza oven. It's awesome because inside it actually rotates the pizza around as it's cooking.
What is your favorite pizza yourself?
So my favorite pizza, well, there's 2, is the Meat Lovers, and then my son is one of the pizza oven cooks, and he does this margarita Meat Lovers for me.
Right. Very good.
Okay.
So we may have to ask for that, too. All right, so we're at the Rising Eagle Brewery when you just come into town. If you're coming into Elgin, right, but the sandwich behind the Brahms, you'll kind of see it off in the distance there. You can take that side road to get to us, and we're glad that we're going to bring this on a Monday, and we had a scheduling conflict because I got Cameron Basketball, the coaches show, coming up tomorrow, but I think this was too important to be able to not have a coaches show, Vincent.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to take a little break and come back to the Rising Eagle Brewery here for this Elgin Coaches Show right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Sign Company has been serving Oklahoma and surrounding states for over 60 years. As a family-owned business, our focus has always been on driving people to your door, not just selling you a sign. From custom sign design and manufacturing to installation and service, AeroSign has the knowledge and experience to deliver the ideal sign for you while using materials of the highest quality to ensure that your sign will look great for years and years to come. We design and manufacture our signs for longevity, so you get the greatest return on investment possible. AeroSign Company, helping your business thrive since 1955.
All right, back here at the Rising Eagle Brewery in Elgin, Oklahoma, site of the Elgin Coaches Show here on a Monday night. Get you all taken care of before you have Monday Night Football. Who's actually the game tonight?
The Browns. I saw the Browns warming up. It's the Browns and the Broncos.
Okay, Browns and Broncos for Monday Night Football. All right. So we are out in the outside patio, and we're going to make first off. I think most of the information is starting to come across now that the NFHS has exclusive rights to video stream. So, unfortunately, I know in the past you're used to having semifinals on the Oklahoma Sports Network. You're still going to have Vincent will still be there. Glenn Brockenbush will still be there on an audio-only presentation. So if you want to just say it's kind of like listening to the radio in the old days, of getting all the latest, and you're going to get all the excitement. You're going to have a guy that paces back and forth, that jumps up and down, and you'll get to
bang
see
on
that
the windows a little
instead of hear that. So we want you to still tune in. In fact, that's with all 5 of our schools. We had 11 schools of the 13 make playoffs in round 1, then down to 6, and then also down to 5. And with these 5, I got to ask you, Coach, first off, how do you handle bye week? I understand a bye week in the middle before you start district play, but what did you do with this when you got all that momentum in your first 2 rounds, and then all of a sudden, okay, we got to halt the horses for a minute?
Yeah, it can be a little tough. You want to keep going, but I think this late in the year, it's good to have a bye week like this is. And I think that we did a really good job before district started with the Newcastle going into that with the bye week. So we and it worked out perfect because we had kind of been there, done that. Had an idea for what we wanted to do going into this week. So, you want to keep playing, but I think for the guys we got and where we're at, it was perfect.
And your Thanksgiving, how was that?
It was good. It was good. Typical Thanksgiving, ate too much and tried to get that afternoon nap.
Yeah.
But y'all still had practice that morning, am I right? And they kind of opened it up to the families and the friends and things like that. So that was a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I think we had 75 people in attendance, and it was cold that morning. Really cool deal. And, obviously to practice on Thanksgiving is a big deal, and we want to make that a tradition here at Elgin, and really cool to do that.
Yeah, one of the things talked about kind of leading into the season, obviously, was hopefully having that 14-week season. Now we're in week 13, so obviously one of the cool things is we got to, spend Thanksgiving together as a team and then do all that type of stuff. Talk about what, like I said, let's kind of recap a little bit of Salisaw and kind of what you saw in that game, and then we'll get on to Wagner here in a little bit.
I thought we did a great job of controlling their line of scrimmage. They threw a lot at us early, and we did a good job kind of combating all of those things that you got to do in the playoffs, and eventually won line of scrimmage as the game went on and pulled away. But we were in a good spot going into halftime with the big interception by Bryce. But really proud of our guys. There was a lot going into that game. It was where we exited last year, and a lot going into it. And these seniors and guys that have been around have learned a great deal from that last year. And, man, they did so well with getting over that hump and continuing to take next steps.
Now, I know we've got a lot to look forward to. Obviously, still a lot of work left to be done in these next 2 weeks. But talk about what it means to the community and you as an alum and from here. This is the farthest than any Elgin team's ever gone. Talk about what that means to you and the community. These guys at this point will, live in infamy. I guess you could say, but as the team that's gone the farthest. So, we talked a little bit with Matt Lund after the game and kind of what it meant to him as a senior from last year. But, talk about what, getting to this point of the season and getting further than any other Elgin team, what that means to you and the community as a whole.
It's been special, and it's been special because we have special people around it, from our players to our coaches to our parents. The community members that come in and step in at any time we need something, and it's just a big belief in this town, and it's truly special. Like, people that don't know anything about us or kind of what we're doing, it's a really cool story to tell, and people, they need to know about it because like I said, like, it's unmatched, and people talk about when we travel, our fans are there. Some people were saying they're at some semifinal games last weekend, and they were saying that it doesn't compare to our fans. But it's because they're special people, and they believe in this football program, and man, it's so cool to be a part of it.
And just to kind of piggyback off of that, kind of obviously winning that last game at the Nest. I mean, obviously that was our last game at the Nest for this year. But, I mean, talk about how special that place is and how it's this year, how on Friday nights, I mean, it's a rocking.
Yeah, you never have to doubt it. They're going to be there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the weather or anything. They love this team and they love what they do and the passion that they play with. And when they play with those qualities, they're easy to get behind, and it maybe their son or their family member. But if you just were a random fan and came to a game, you would understand that it's pretty special.
Now talk a little bit about Wagner. I mean, obviously this is one of the teams kind of in 4A that's kind of been a perennial powerhouse and kind of one that we've kind of looked out at over the year, kind of looking at some matchups and things like that as the season's going on. Talk a little bit about what you've seen from them on film and kind of what to expect on Friday night.
Yeah, there's 4 teams left in the state in 4A, and they're all good. And
yep.
I mean, it starts with Wagner. That's our opponent. Obviously, they've been there, done that. Won the state title game last year. They brought a lot of talent back, and they do things right. They play extremely hard on defense, and are each spot they're solid at, and that's what it takes to get to this point. And they're led by their quarterback, who's a good distributor of the football, and he's a good runner. And very sound on defense, and he's got guys he can throw it to. And man, we're looking forward to this one. It's a big time matchup. A lot of people would have had this one circled.
Yeah.
Going into it, and man, we're excited. We've really done a great job this week at practice of just doing what we do and believing in what we do, and man, we're excited for this one.
So obviously the game's in Ada as a neutral site. I mean, talk a little bit about the schedule on Friday and how you're going to, like I said, it's a road game, but I mean it's a road game for both teams. We will be the road team, is my understanding. So talk a little bit kind of about the travel and what to expect pregame headed into that one.
We were fortunate. Hillary Communications purchased 2 charter buses for us to take. So that's took care of travel. We're appreciative of that. Friday we're going to have a pep rally right after lunch, and then we're going to be able to get our players right after that pep rally. So we'll have about an hour or so to pack our bags, load the buses, do that thing, and then we do a school-wide send-off where we'll load the buses, drive through campus, and all the kids and teachers will be lining the roads, and they'll send us off, and when that's done, we'll head to Ada. So we'll have everything ready, and I think it's a really good deal for us. It doesn't get us out of our schedule, and lets people support us, which we're very appreciative of. And so timing and everything wise, that's kind of what we got going on. We're looking forward to it.
Talk to the fans out there and talk to them and explain to them. I know it's a 2-hour trip, but talk to them and tell them how important it is for them to make that trip on down to Ada and support you guys.
Yeah, there's no other option. You guys just make your plans.
We're going to close the
Whoa. There is one option. But yeah, we would love for you to watch us after the fact.
Yeah. No, I have no doubt that our people will show up in force, and they've done it all year. And what's a 2-hour ride down to Ada, even though there's not an easy way to get there?
No.
No. They'll be there. We have no doubt about that. They love this team, and they'll do everything they can to get there. And it matters. It matters a lot, And we need to show up and support our guys.
Well, there's one thing on paper that, the 1 and 2s all year long, even Carl Albert and Del City, they're going to have to face each other in the semifinals. You guys, and I like the social media stuff. You get all people involved in this, when you guys didn't really, they just put Wagner up there on top, and they said, well, I guess maybe many that didn't see an Elgin game yet, What's it like playing that matchup when, on the other side of it, Bethany and Tuttle, they both played each other, and they're both in the same district. Yes, ideally you'd like this as a final, but, there's teams that, you play the best to be the best, and then, you go to the finals there, and you take it that way. But these two have been on that course. Like you said, everybody circled that. These are the 2 best that we believe in 4A, and let's get it settled on the field.
Yeah, I mean, we want it when things are hard, and if you're going to win it all, you got to beat all of them. And so it didn't matter whenever it was. If we want to go win a state championship, we got to beat them all. And that's our goal. That's what we believe in. It starts with them.
Very good.
Coach, congratulations. We'll have you back on after some players' interviews and some interviews with Coach Baker and Coach Castro. But for now, congratulations on where we are, and Let's go get another one at least.
Do it and earn another week.
Yep, there
That's
we
right.
go.
We'll extend it. We'd like to come back here in the back patio here at the Rising Eagle Brewery right here in Elgin, Oklahoma. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Goodbye, paperwork. Hello, convenience. Farewell, waiting. Hello, personal service. Catch you later, dreaming. Hello, planning. Buy your dream home, connect with a personal banker, and easily schedule an appointment with digital tools from Arvest Bank. Goodbye limits, hello possibilities.
All right, back here out in the patio at the Rising Eagle Brewery here in Elgin, Oklahoma, site of the Elgin Coaches Show. And we are excited. We're going to talk to both our coordinators, offense and defense. We got players in the house, and we want to thank the mayor. It's his birthday today for supplying the food for the boys. You got pizza and you got appetizers out there. So thank you, and happy birthday, too, by the way.
Yeah, I think he might make an appearance at some point.
Right,
so he said, text a little bit ago and said, food's on me, and I'll try and get there before 7. So hopefully JJ can join us at some point. But happy birthday, Mayor. So, Jack, what do you say, man? I mean, obviously defense did a great job in that game. I mean, only giving up to 6 points, only the second touchdown in the first half all year. I mean, after that touchdown, I mean, you guys kind of settled into place, and obviously the big play, kind of momentum-changing play was Bryce Martin's interception there right before halftime. Talk a little bit about how the defense played overall against Salsa and what you learned from your group in that big playoff win.
Yeah, I thought we were a little sloppy early on, maybe a little too hot coming into it. Had some bad eyes and some things, and the game didn't start off great with what we're used to.
Yeah,
and so we had to battle through that a little bit, and we did. And there towards the end of the first half, we settled in, and obviously Bryce was able to make a big play, and then at halftime we got some things talked through, man, and just had a tremendous second half. Just really proud of how we responded in that second half of getting things right and playing up to our standard, and what we want to do defensively. So
talk a little bit about Bryce Martin. I mean, he's kind of turned into our little honey badger, I guess you could say. Forced 3 turnovers, had the fumble, had forced fumble there in the first drive, and then had the 2 picks later on in the game. I mean, talk about obviously coming from. We didn't know if he was going to start or not. Now leading the team with 7 interceptions, 4 pick sixes, and I mean just always kind of a playmaker when everything's around him.
Yeah, that forced fumble early was huge. Was really huge, and not giving up on a play that he was beat on, and not giving up, and so that's tremendous. He's just a competitor. He's one of those wrestling kids. And I think when you grow up that size and what he's gone through, they're tough, and they're gamers, and that's definitely what he is, and he knows people are going to try to test him, and he's okay with it. So,
talk a little bit about that, because when you watch our defense and you look out there, it's wrestler. Yep. Talk about the importance of those guys being wrestlers and kind of the wrestling program and things like that, and the mentality that brings to your defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's tremendous. I may be a little biased because
you're also a wrestling coach,
assistant wrestling coach. But 9 of our 11 guys out there on defense are wrestlers. Been in that wrestling room. We've got a couple state champs out there, some runner-ups, and some placers, and I just think it translates really, really well. And I think from the aspect, me and you have talked about it on many occasions, and just from a competition standpoint of the guts and the grit that it takes to step on a mat one-on-one and wrestle, I think translates great into football, along the other things, the leverage and tackling and all those things are great. But I just think what it takes as an individual to do that sport, whether they win or lose, whether they're any good at wrestling or not, it takes a lot of guts and a lot of grit to go out there and do that. And that's, had a tremendous impact, I think, on our defense. And I'm always pushing those guys to You don't play basketball? All right, we need to go get in our wrestling room. And so, I love it. I'd love to have all 11, wrestlers. But, the ones that aren't are pretty good ball players too. So,
talk a little bit. I mean, obviously all year, your defense has done phenomenal jobs. I mean, offense gets, a lot of the credit and the sexiness and some of that type of stuff. But you guys are only giving up 4.5 points a game, which is an unbelievable number. Only giving up two first-half touchdowns as well. Only 8 touchdowns as on the year altogether. I mean, talk about how this group has kind of gelled together. Obviously, lost some players from last year's team, and this group has really gelled and kind of been probably your most complete defense since in the 3 years you've been back.
Yeah, I think and what's crazy is I think every year since I've been back after the end of the year, I've said, boys, it don't get any better than that. I don't know, how we can improve, and we've improved. And I think some of that is this group of seniors have grown up in it for 3 years. I mean, there's some key pieces that started as sophomores, were huge contributors as sophomores that have grown up, and they just know it. They know the defense. And then, replacing the 2 outside linebackers, the corner, replacing Jack Angeli, the defensive line, all those things seemed like huge losses at the time. But as we moved pieces around and just, found our guys that had just been in this system, that have worked really, really hard, they've contributed in their own way. They get their opportunity, man. They've made the most of it, and they've really put in the work, and they've done great jobs. And it's like, oh, okay, we're not missing a beat there. And so, it's a really special group. These guys are what makes this defense very competitive. We're going to go as they go. I tell them I'm wrong all the time, and it's their job to go make me right. And they do a tremendous job at that. And, without these guys, the leadership of these seniors that have been battling in it, we wouldn't be very good. So.
5 turnovers on the night, I believe, against Sallisaw. If I'm with the fumble and 4 interceptions.
4 interceptions, yeah.
So talk about what turnovers. What they do to the defense and the team as a whole. Obviously we had the pick 6 there at the end with Brody, but just talk about how forcing turnovers. How that gets momentum going into the entire team.
Well, yeah. Turnovers are huge if you can force them and you can take the ball away. I don't know. There's a stat out there that they do the stats, and if you win the turnover margin, then you have a really good shot to winning the football game.
Right.
It's just like stealing possessions. So when you're able to go create a turnover, get the ball back, you still have possession there. And I consider 4th down stops the same.
Yeah.
Somebody's going for a 4th and 1, and we get a stop. That's still in a possession. And first it switched momentum over to your side, and now their defense has got to come onto the field and try to go get a stop, in probably not a great position. Normally, you get those turnovers and you get it over in plus territory. So, it's really difficult, and it's a really positive thing when it's going right for you and you're doing that.
The football nerd in me doesn't understand how it's called a turnover on downs.
Yes.
But it doesn't count as a turnover.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
it's only on paper.
That's another story. But but kind of the wrap up. Let's talk a little bit before we get into plays to wrap up. Let's talk a little bit about what you've seen so far from Wagner on film and what to expect from the offense. Obviously, you being the defensive coordinator, what to expect from their offense on Friday night.
Yeah, Wagner's an extremely good football team. I don't think there's anybody that doubts that. If they've been around high school football in Oklahoma very long, traditionally. Really good. They've got a quarterback that a wrestler, state champion wrestler,
and he's their middle linebacker.
Yeah,
he's
also a linebacker. So
right.
Quarterback playing linebacker, and he makes them go over there. He's their leader. He's the guy they want, the ball in his hands, and he's really talented. He can run it, he can throw it, he can do a lot of good things with it. Skill wise, I got to tell back that he's really quick and get out of space. He can cause some problems. Receivers are really good, clutch catch guys. They'll catch the ball, and again, if you give them some space, you give them too much room, they can go make some things happen. So, scheme-wise, man, they're a lot like we've seen with some teams like a MacArthur and a Newcastle and kind of those sets and how they want to spread the ball around to playmakers and do some things. And at the end of the day, they really want to run the football, but they're not afraid to put it in the air. And, we got our work cut out for us, but man, these guys have been preparing, I'm anxious to go see what happens.
Talk a little bit before we get into plays. One more question, I guess, would be, what was your thoughts on the off week? And I mean, has it helped for the preparation side of things, or would you rather? I mean, it is what it is now. We can't change it, I guess. But I mean, what did you think about the off week with it being Thanksgiving week and things like that?
I mean, I think it was really good for our kids. Just to get another week to kind of prepare. For us, defensively, we kind of handled it like we did our off week heading into the Newcastle game. We really focused in on our base stuff of defending them. And then this week we'll get into more little, wrinkles into the game plan that we may have for them. And so that was really good from that aspect. You're able to kind of slow it down and you don't have to rush so much to get stuff in. Allowed our guys an extra week off to, not any serious injuries we got going on, but, bumps and bruises
right.
Everybody's dealing with it this
right.
time of the year, and able to get them to heal up and get what we needed to work in. I'm cool with it.
There you go. All right, so we're going to look at two plays here from the Sallisaw game. You got this is going to be the pick six by Brody here.
Yeah, this is the pick six in kind of reverse order here. This pick six, this kind of sealed the game out. We had pretty much taken command of the game at that point. But we bring a corner blitz here, and we actually this is just, again, kids, when you have really good players, they make plays in spite of things. We had a bust in coverage. We didn't get the coverage relayed in correctly. Brought the corner blitz, and Brody is able to go ahead and make a play even though we're busting coverage here. And then you just see the transition of our guys. That's what I really love about our guys. They really go work really hard for each other. And so when somebody gets a pick, them guys are turning up. They're going to try to get blocks and go score on defense. They take a lot of pride in that, and I'm pretty proud of them for that.
There you go. Second one here looks like.
All right, this is the pick six. This is the end of the first half.
Not a pick six, but
not pick six,
pick,
but this is pick the end of the first half. There's about a minute and 40, I think, on the clock. Again, we're a one-score game here. It was kind of some territory we haven't really been in this year, which is really good for us to be in it and fight out of it. We're thinking here, let's stop them from scoring, get in with the one-score lead at half, and Bryce is able to make a really good break on the ball, get a pick. We got really good pressure on the cue at that point.
Yeah, Phillip does good.
Made him put up a ball off his back foot there, falling away from pressure. Bryce make a pick. We get it in plus territory, and we're able to go score again and go up now 2 scores in at halftime instead of just 1. I think it was a huge play, and I think that's where we really finally settled down and really started playing back, playing to our brand of football.
Yeah, to me that was, like you said, kind of the change of the momentum of the game and whatnot. I mean, like I said, we were up 14-6, I think, at that point, and then we were able to score there, make it 21-6, and then the second half kind of took control of it and things like that. But yeah, Bryce has just been a playmaker all year and done a great job for us on defense. But also right there, you see, like you were talking about some of those outside linebackers, Phillip Peabody in there, kind of getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. And making that throw kind of not have as much oomph on it, and Bryce was able to make a great break on it. So
I think that's where we're at in the year too. We know what the strengths and weaknesses of our defense are, where the weak spots are, where the strong parts are, how to play and adjust to those, and our kids do as well. We talk all the time. Hey, when there's always a weakness somewhere, depending on what you're doing. And we talk about that. We understand them. We're able to play through those and overcompensate for those when we need to. It's a really good group. It seems that, there's been a recipe for how to attack us, and most people follow the same recipe. and fortunately, for us, really good kids that play really hard and understand the game, and we've been able to defend that, what people have tried to do.
Coach Baker, thanks a ton for joining us, and congrats on the big win, and hopefully we can keep this train moving and see you guys next week here again.
We're going to go fight it out and find out for sure.
There you go.
All right, Rising Eagle Brewery here in Elgin, Oklahoma. Site of the Elgin Coaches Show on the back patio. So we went defense. Now we'll slip to offense, and Adam Castro is up next right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Bank First is uniquely Oklahoman, deeply rooted in over 50 communities statewide. From those roots, our investment in education springs forth, helping to raise the Oklahoma leaders of tomorrow while providing financial strength to the business leaders of today. That's the kind of loyalty that helps entire communities thrive. Bank First. Loyal to Oklahoma. Loyal.
All right, back here at the Rising Eagle Brewery. I didn't even introduce Vincent Saylor, in case you didn't know.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
The color analyst there for the Elgin Owls. We got Glenn Brockenbush in the house. We'll get to talk to him, too, about calling a semifinal game here for Friday. And now from defense, we'll switch to offense now.
Yeah, Coach Castro, I mean, talk about it. 43 points, I believe. What was the final?
49-6.
49-6. Okay, so 49.
But who's counting, right?
Yeah, 49-6. I mean, talk a little bit about, like I said, kind of a little bit of a slow start, but once everything got rolling, everything kind of went downhill from there. Ritson had a great game with over 200 yards. But, yeah, talk a little bit about kind of the Sallisaw win and what we saw from the offensive side of the ball.
It's a good win. They're really well coached. They play really hard. They gave us fits early on, and then we kind of just adjusted. And I think one of the biggest things is we can wear on people. Early on, everybody's giving you your best shot early, and everyone's kind of the playing feels pretty even early whenever you're playing against such good teams. And then kind of our size can wear people down, and I think that's what you saw. Eventually, we kind of just continue to lean on them and wear on them, and then our run game really picked up. And Trace played really well too.
Yeah.
In the second half, we come out in the second possession, throw the boot for a touchdown to Kaysen, and obviously the pick from Bryce
right before half
to help us go from 1-score lead to a 2-score lead. And we get short fields all the time with how well we play defensively, and 5 turnovers. It's really hard not to score a lot of points when you do that. And it's just our job not to screw it up whenever the defense is playing like that.
And kind of talk a little bit about that. I mean, what that does as an offensive play caller for you, obviously you're only giving up – the defense is only giving up 4.5, points a game. I mean, you guys are scoring close to 50. But talk about how those turnovers obviously can turn automatically into fast offense.
Yeah, you talked about scoring all those points, but a lot of that does come from – Bryce has all those pick sixes. Brody has one. We get a lot of fumble recoveries on our kickoff team and things like that set us up. And so it really is it's a team thing every time our offense produces. It's not just an offensive unit thing. It's definitely it takes all 85 of us out there. And it's been really, really fun for us to be able to take the shots that we want to take because we have so much confidence in our defense and being able to be a little bit more aggressive than most people probably can.
And I know we probably talked about it a little bit last week, but, Ritson goes for over 200. Trace, about 150 or whatnot there. But, everything starts up front. So talk a little bit about that offensive line and how good they've been doing all year to create those holes and then create as much time as Trace has back there when we do decide to throw the ball.
Yeah, it's led by a couple seniors there. You got Colin and Jason Shea here who all play a ton of offensive line, and Colin plays tight end and protecting on the edge. And it's a special group. There's not very many offensive lines that will come around that are like this one that we get that we have here, and they've played together for such a long time. And then you bring in Ant, and he's a special talent, and what an awesome kid he is, and he's still learning the game, and he's really, really special at just his production at such an early stage of his football playing career. I know he's a senior, but he hasn't played for a very long time, and his development since he's gotten here has been really fun to watch. And then you got those 2 young guys that are out there, Hudson and Jackson Deal. Yeah. They're as good as any of them, and we just we're really blessed with a very intelligent offensive line that can adjust. Because, kind of like Jack said about defensively, how everybody has the same recipe to attack, and it's kind of the same on the other side of the ball. People want to give us different fronts that we've not seen from their team on film throughout the week and throughout the weeks prior. And our kids they're really, really savvy, and they have a high IQ, and they know which combos they need to go where, and all these rule breakers that we might see with these different fronts. And that starts with those senior guys like Shea, Jason, Colin, and Adam Eaton as well. They're all just really smart football players that are really physical and really talented.
Talk about Ritson. Obviously, probably his best game as a running back since he's been here, and just did a tremendous job. Like I said, offensive line did a tremendous job too. But talk about the game that he had, over 200, I think 211 or so yards, gets him close to 1,500 on the year. Broke broke some records along the way, too. He's now the all-time leading single-season touchdown record and rushing touchdowns as well. Just talk a little bit about the way he played against Sallisaw and kind of how, that led to wearing people down and getting the ball rolling in the second half.
Yeah, he's a special talent. There's not really anything that on the football field that he can't get done. He's thrown a touchdown. He's caught touchdowns. He's had pick sixes before. He can do anything on the football field. I think in middle school he was our kicker too, and he played quarterback. He can really do it all, and it's a blessing to have him. He played exceptionally well. I think it was his career high rushing yards with 211, but he's never really taken more than, I think he had 21 carries, and I think that might be his second highest ever.
Yeah.
I think MacArthur this year he had 26 or something, but and he just takes a beating too. And luckily that we have such a good offensive line, that beating comes at the second and third levels most times.
Yeah.
But we're going to have challenges this upcoming week, and we're going to have to play really, really exceptionally well. And if we want to talk about this offensive line being the unit it is, then they have to show up this Friday.
Yeah, so kind of with that being said, let's talk a little bit about Wagner and what to expect from their defense. Coach Baker talked a little bit about their offense.
Yeah.
From you, the offensive coordinator, talk a little bit about their defense and what we can expect Friday night from those guys.
Well, they have this. They have a defensive end, number 25, really athletic player. Has also played linebacker. He came in and started on the D line ever since the Shield Knight kid was injured, and he's a force. He's really athletic. He slants really well and penetrates gaps very well. And we're going to have to stay square and be able to have great footwork to be able to handle that. They have a good sophomore nose. Number 54 plays with a ton of effort. And then their other defensive lineman is also a starter on the offensive line. He's a bigger body, good player, smart player, you can tell. And then they have 4 really good linebackers. 42 he's a strong side outside linebacker most of the time, and he's a really good athlete. He's against Clinton. He played a lot of 5 technique, and then he's played over the A-back in the slot, and he can do a lot of different things. And then their other invert, number 9, who's a really special player. He's their punt returner. He's the outside linebacker. He does things on offense for him. He's a pretty good player. Sets the edge. So when you have 2 good high school inverts, it makes you have a great defense, and they have a great defense. And then there are 2 inside guys. Number 32, Steele, I believe is his name. He seems like one of their leaders, kind of just a program kid. Not the biggest in stature, but plays really hard. You can tell he's strong. And then the quarterback that plays linebacker as well, really really good pad level. Whenever he plays at linebacker, he's going to come down really low, and he's tough to block. He reads exceptionally well, gets the ball in a hurry. And then in the back end, they're pretty athletic. 2 of their receivers, number 2, number 3, and then also number 26 back there. Playing safety, and then number 10 plays safety as well. And those guys play both sides, and they get the ball in their hands, and they're really good. And so I think kind of like us, we have guys that play both ways in the back end. Yeah. It's just a good marriage to have, and they understand what we're trying to do offensively. And they're a really good football team. They don't have a weakness. They're not hiding anybody. They have 11 really good football players on defense.
Good deal. So Eric, let's get into kind of these plays from last week. This right here, it looks like it's the boot there to touchdown the Cason.
Yeah, so at halftime we were talking, and Coach Wyatt really liked the formation that we had there, and he wanted to call the boot, and that second possession we got the ball. He was like, hey, this is the perfect time to call it, so we did, and that's kudos to Coach Wyatt right there. Cason runs a great route, becoming the drag on the boot, and then you got your slip right underneath it that pulls that overhang down and just opens up that drag, and Trace puts the ball in the money, and Cason finishes it in the end zone.
Well, when you're running the ball as well as we were against Salsa, any type of boots off of that, are going to be, hard for the defense to stop because you got to choose your poison, I guess you could say.
And then up front you got to be a good actor selling the run still, making sure those guys come up to stop Ritson, and it's a good play for us, and we have good players that understand the concept and what we want to do, and Trace is really good at knowing where the ball is supposed to go when a play is called. So.
Yeah. Well, that goes to show, too. Like I said, we've got 3 kids, over 25 catches. You don't see that a lot of times in high school football with spreading the ball out that much. Usually you got that 1 or 2 guys that you're going to go to. But Trace had an outstanding year, kind of like spreading the ball around throughout the year. It's the second one. This is Ritson's second half run. I think this is the one with the spin move, isn't it?
Yeah, this is just a 12 personnel set, running the outside zone play, a play that I've ran since I was a 9th grader in high school, and It's been a lot of fun to coach that play up for a long time now. And Ritson hits it really well. We set the edge. We have 2 great tight ends in Adam and Colin, 2 senior leaders for us that are really athletic and physical on the edge. You can see there that they're handling their blocks, and Ritson makes a great cut under, I think that's Adam's block. It's hard to see from here. But,
yeah.
And then he hits a spin move, and then he shows off the speed. You know, everybody thinks, oh, he's a 215-pound wrestling state champion. He can't run fast. Well, he's running away from some really good football players right there. And it's a –
I know Coach Baker liked this run a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun to watch him play. It's fun to watch that offensive line work. And it's fun. It's fun calling plays for those guys because they can make you look really good.
Coach Castro, man, we thank you a ton for joining us again. Hope we're here again next week doing the same thing.
Absolutely, I'd love that.
Good luck and congrats so far, and let's keep this train rolling.
Absolutely. Yep. Go Owls.
Thanks, brother.
All right, Rising Eagle Brewery in Elgin, Oklahoma. We got players in the house, including Mr. Ritzenmeyer. He's got a dessert. Here. I think he's ordered something that went beyond the pizza route. We won't talk about the intake that he just took in, but
he'll be ready for Friday.
He's growing. That's right. All right, so we'll be back with players in the house right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Come on, guy.
Memorial Medical Group's orthopedic specialists are the most experienced team in Southwest Oklahoma. Our orthopedic surgeons are trained to diagnose and treat shoulder, knee, hip, hand, and foot conditions, as well as orthopedic trauma, sports, or work-related injuries. And they're the only ones in the area to offer Mako robotic-assisted surgery for knee and hip replacement. When you need bone and joint help, trust MMG Orthopedics to get you back to living your best life.
All right, back here at the Rising Eagle Brewery, Elgin, Oklahoma, site of the Elgin Coaches Show, historic Coaches Show because first time in school history to reach the semifinals for a football team, and that's saying a lot. And I know the community has been waiting for this for the last couple of years, been wanting this, and your wish has come true even before Christmas. How about that? So
there you go.
Got players in the house, and Vincent Saylor, I tell you what, you've seen these guys for the last couple of years and grow and just add to their accomplishments. They're going to remember this for the rest of their lives, but so will the community.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, we got Shea Spencer here with us, Colin Donnelly. Guys, I mean, Shea, let's start with you a little. I mean, what do you say? I mean, hey, we were in the semifinals. I mean, this is something that you guys kind of had circled all year, talking about playing 14 weeks. We're now in week 13. Talk a little bit about, where we are now and what it means to you guys being at this point, but obviously there's still work to do.
Yeah, right. Like you said, there's still work to do. Being here is a blessing. To be able to practice on Thanksgiving was awesome.
Yeah.
That was a real fun time for all of us. Good time for the coaches, too. But just our preparation to get here has just been, I think, amazing. It's the best I've ever seen a group like here at Elgin have. The brotherhood and everything that we do together is just awesome.
Talk a little bit about that brotherhood because, like I said, you guys, I mean, I know you two sitting here have been playing War Owl football since you guys were little, and talk a little bit about that brotherhood and kind of what this senior class means to you guys and things like that.
To me, it's just a band of brothers. We just all have each other's backs no matter what. We all know that, and we all trust each other.
Yeah.
We all trust each other, do our jobs, and do the right things.
Well, and you can tell that on the field too. I mean, it's cool. It's fun to watch you play. I mean, especially you. I mean, you kind of almost maybe one of the emotional leaders, I guess you could say. Kind of dance around and do some fun stuff during that part. But taking me, I mean, obviously you're offensive lineman, defensive lineman. Pancake or sack? What's
Sack.
more enjoyable?
Sack.
Okay.
Sacks by far.
Okay, I got you. Colin, let's go to you a little. Talk a little bit about obviously the senior class and being this group that's gotten Elgin the furthest it's ever gone.
I mean, it feels great. We've been working for a long time since we were a lot of our senior class been together for a long time, and I was talking to some of the seniors that had graduated the past few years, and they were like, y'all better go win it for Elgin, man. Like,
yeah.
So it feels great, being able to be out here in the semifinals, first team to ever do it.
As an Elgin community member, I'm gonna piggyback off of those guys and say let's go win it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, Colin, I asked Shay. Let's talk to you a little bit about that too. You obviously played tight end, had a couple touchdowns on the year. Touchdown or big hit on defense?
I mean, touchdown's always great, but big
hits,
gets everybody
okay.
going. So it's.
So it seems like these two would rather play defense, obviously, than offense. Sorry, Coach Castro. Coach Baker's loving it over there, but Coach Castro is not too happy about it. But, Colin, talk a little bit about being a quarterback on that defense. I mean, you've been playing middle linebacker here for a long time, and I've been around high school football for a very, very long time. You're probably one of the best linebackers I've ever seen play high school football. Talk a little bit about, being that quarterback of the defense and what that means to you. And kind of what some of your preparation is going into that. I
mean, it means a lot to me. Being a leader is awesome. I mean, preparation-wise, I watch a lot of film, and having those guys, like, knowing what they are supposed to do, even, like, they know what they're supposed to do, but when I know what they're supposed to do, I can help them when they mess up, and it really, I feel like, helps the team a lot, and it's awesome being a leader, and it's great.
That's awesome. So, obviously, talk about, obviously we've got to drive 2 hours. We've got to play. It's a road game. Technically, we're the visiting team. Tell the fans out there that are thinking, I don't know if I want to make it, all this kind of stuff. Talk about what it means to be, for you guys to have those guys in the stands rallying and going crazy for y'all.
I mean, it means a lot. To me, I think it means a lot. To our whole team, I know it means a lot, anything. When they're shaking those jugs, everything, when they're loud, it just helps our defense for sure. It helps our offense. Everybody knows. Everybody knows when they're playing Elgin, they got to play the fans too, so I think they better show up.
Shay, talk to us also about, that last win, the last time y'all are ever at the Nest as football players, y'all are taking Elgin to somewhere that they've never gone before. Talk about kind of that feeling and how awesome that was walking off that field knowing, hey, we're going to the semifinals, and that's a great way to cap off being at the Nest.
Yeah, it's just a all-around special feeling just to, with this group of guys, be able to, like, from Little League growing up, be able to be here and be in this big moment. But it was just all around special. We got to dump the ice bucket with Coach Wyatt. Just being able to make history for Elgin is just a special thing to me.
And we'd be remiss without saying Shay was named the 4A1 District Defensive Player of the Year, I believe. And
very good.
Colin was named the 4A1 Linebacker of the Year as well. Obviously, those personal accolades are great, but I think y'all give it all up to hold that gold ball, huh?
For sure.
Absolutely. So, hey, congratulations to you guys on those accomplishments, and let's go get 2 more.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Rising Eagle Brewery got 2 more players, and Coach Chalmer comes back and joins us, and we'll do that right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
The thing with car buying nowadays is just how many options there are when it comes to where to actually get a car. Dealerships, websites, auctions, private sellers, and so on. But knowing exactly where to get your car loan makes it all much less stressful. That's where Communication Federal can help. There's a reason we're known for auto loans around here. Lots of car options and lots of places to buy, but only one choice for an auto loan. Communication Federal Credit Union.
All right, back here at the Rising Eagle Brewery alongside Vincent Saylor, the color analyst for the Elgin Owls for the 2024 season. And we got some other players in the house that we want to talk to before we talk about this semifinal matchup.
Yeah, we've got senior offensive defensive lineman Jace Williams and running back linebacker junior Ritson Meyer. Jace, we'll start with you. Kind of piggybacking a little bit off of what we just asked Shay and Colin. You're part of that kind of group that's been playing War Owl football since 3-4 years old, 5 years old, however old that is. Talk a little bit about that brotherhood and how special it is, sharing this with the seniors.
Oh, yeah, it's great. Just my dad and Ryan starting that up and just getting us all together, finding just a bigger purpose, playing for each other, and just wanting to win for everyone else.
talk a little bit about what this means to you. Obviously, you've grown up in this area and whatnot. I mean, knowing that you're the senior class right now that's taking this this school and this football team to the furthest it's ever gone.
Oh, it means a lot. I mean, it's just we all love football. We love each other, and we just want to play for each other and just keep doing it for the town and for everyone else just to bring it home.
All right, so I asked Shay this. I mean, you're an offensive lineman and defensive lineman. Pancake or sack?
Well, I don't get very many
I
sacks.
know.
Pancakes.
So pancake or taking on like 6 blockers at once. How about that?
I'll go pancakes. It feels a lot better.
Okay. And you've got several of them. 4A1 offensive lineman of the year. 4A1 offensive lineman of the year as well. So congratulations on that. Obviously next year headed off to Navy, but obviously some work to be done. What do you guys need to do Friday to make sure that we can continue this train one more week?
Just make sure our footwork's real good. Make sure we communicate well. Make sure we get our second feet down, just defeat their slants, and just play Elgin football.
Ritson, go ahead.
No thoughts about the Army-Navy game?
Yeah. What's your Saturday?
Who's
big
your
one,
pick there?
obviously. Who are you rooting for?
Definitely Navy in 2 weeks. Yeah.
There you go.
Ritson, got you here today. The man, the myth, the legend, Ritson Meyer. Talk to me a little bit about that game against Salsa. Obviously, career high with rushing yards. Talk to me a little bit about that game and what you thought going in and what you thought after.
Yeah, career high. Lineman blocked really well. Holes were opening up. Hit it really hard. And it just felt good, man. Like, it's just a train roll. We're rolling, baby. We're rolling.
That's what I like to hear. Now, tell me a little bit about some of these celebrations. Like, when do you come up with them? I mean, are we in front of the mirror at night, or what are we doing here?
I kind of check with my teammates, see if they like them. Usually they hate them, but I still hit them. But it just comes to me.
All right, talk to me a little bit about how cool it is. I mean, obviously your brother's having a great year as well. Kaysen is doing a great job as a sophomore receiver, 25 catches. How special it is kind of going through this year with him on the field as much as he has been. I mean, I know last year he played some, but not as much. So talk a little bit about how cool that is playing with your brother and things like that.
Yeah, it's really cool playing with the brother, of course. He does like to act like the big brother sometimes. I got to put him in his place on the field, on the sideline. But, no, it's really cool looking over, seeing I got my brother that I've grew up with my whole life. And I know that we won't play together forever, so I cherish it,
That's awesome. Well, hey, Ritson, keep it rolling for Country Air, man. We're loving it in the neighborhood, and keep it rolling for us.
One question for him. Every game has been a highlight. Every game has been sensational. What is your personal favorite game win this year and why?
I'd have to say probably Weatherford. Weatherford is just I didn't really like those guys, and I liked putting a beat down on them. So, but the next one. That was the right answer.
Right.
There you go.
That's a coach's answer.
There you go. So, guys, to talk. What will it take, obviously, to Ritson, in your opinion, what will it take to get to Wagner and keep this train moving in the next week?
Oh, just keep doing what we're doing. We got all the pieces, and we're rolling, we're moving, and we just got to get it done. Just do it. Just got to do it.
I got you. Well, congratulations, guys. We will be there Friday, loud and proud with you guys, and hope to see you guys back here next Monday and doing this thing for a state championship.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, Rising Eagle Brewery in Elgin, Oklahoma. Side of the Elgin Coaches Show. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Increase the heat. I wanna watch it burn.
All right, back at the Rising Eagle and Brewery here in Elgin, Oklahoma, site of the Elgin Coaches Show. We kind of made an impromptu Monday switch, and I appreciate them doing that. Appreciate the hospitality here in the back patio, and we've got a special celebrity. We've got the mayor of Elgin, who incidentally and coincidentally, it's his birthday today.
Yep.
So happy birthday, and thanks for the food layout for all the players and coaches. You did that on your birthday. You know, you're supposed to be getting the cake. What's up with that?
Well, I'm just happy to support a really winning team right now, and just everything's going right.
First of all, I want to congratulate you and thank your employer, obviously, for the buses. Obviously, get the boys to the game in style there with the buses. So thanks for that. And then talk a little bit about, obviously, 2 home games, getting some people from out of around the state here in town. Talk about how everything winning and everything rolling helps the community as a whole with you as the mayor.
2 home games, and when you walk in the stadium, you saw the Brahms Cups, you saw the Sonic Cups, you saw all the boxes from the town. And so, I mean, you can see the economic impact into the community on those home games.
Right.
I mean, and it all adds up.
Yeah, I mean, tell the community, I mean, what it means, like I said, for us to be in this position right now, further than any other Elgin football team has ever gone. And like I said, the impact that it has not only economically, but, getting all those people into the city and doing, and like I said, getting to see our town and see how much growth we're having here in Elgin.
It's I think they're going to be available this week. Lawton Living Magazine, I took 12 pages and bought 12 pages just to describe Elgin, right?
Yeah.
And, when you have a winning sports team, when you have a thriving school, successful school, it makes a pitch of, hey, move to Elgin. It makes that pitch a lot easier and a lot more real. And so, right now you have the hype, you have and it's not even hype. I mean, right now you've got the winning success of Elgin football. Hey, here's why you should move to Elgin.
Yeah.
And we've got teams that come in, and these are towns bigger than ours, and they come in and are like, hey, your stadium looks this nice. It's like, yeah, let's play real high school football.
Right.
Friday night late football. And so it's nice to see that, again, the voters did the school bond, allowed for an amazing stadium to be built there, and now the kids and the coaches have put the effort in to really fully utilize that stadium.
Yeah. That's an awesome deal. I mean, like I said, and I mean, talk to the fans too a little bit about, how important it is going to Ada. I mean, we want to obviously support these kids and do everything and talk about how important it is for everybody to get out there and get to Ada and cheer these kids on.
So, the way I see it is, if everybody should be watching the game. If you haven't seen an Elgin football game in 20 years, make this one the one to see, right? And so, if at all possible, go to Ada. I know Quarterback Club is working on a deal right now to help fans get there via some buses. That will be a big boost. And then on top of that, I know that we're going to caravan out at 4. Now at 2, we're going to do a big send-off in the community to get the team out of here. And so they'll parade around the school and then go down 17th. We've got police and fire and city workers blocking the street off so that we can do this safely. We will have bleachers on 17 if somebody wants to sit there.
Okay.
And so we are trying to do everything we can. I mean, here's the thing. I know it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and, I know we've got jobs, we've got, lives. But if you are not doing anything, come out and be on highway, right there in front of City Hall, Highway 17, 8th Street, whatever you want to call it, and at 2 o'clock, and let's see these guys off in true style, true, mega form. And then, like I said, the fans should start rolling out at 4.
Okay.
If you leave at 2, you're going to get there long before the stadium opens, whatever. But at 4 o'clock, we'll all caravan out of here again. And that gives you plenty of time to get there, get seated before the game gets started.
Awesome, man. We really appreciate everything that you've done for the community and obviously everything that Hillary Communications is doing as far as getting the kids to the game and things like that. And happy birthday, man.
Well, I appreciate it. And thank you all for having me.
Absolutely.
By the way, thank you all for actually doing this. So many winning teams around the state don't have a sports network like you guys that actually kind of chronicles it and helps build the hype, helps build the momentum with the fans. So, again, thank you all for doing it.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a ton for us.
All right. We'll be back to close out with Coach and the Wagner matchup as the semifinals this Friday here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
All right, one last time at the Rising Eagle Brewery here in Elgin, Oklahoma. I was looking over the menu, and, man, I'll tell you what, not just pizza, but, the sandwiches, fish and chips, kebabs, you got to try them out if you've not done that. So,
yeah, it's a great atmosphere out here, especially on the patio.
Yeah,
I've been out here.
I've been out here
been out here for a couple little get-togethers and parties and things like that, and they know how to do it upright and host these type of events. So thanks for having us, and welcome to Elgin.
All right. Hey, Glenn, I want to ask you, you followed this team all year, these last 2 years, and, what's it like to, to be able to call a semifinal game? It's very special when a team makes it to and what Coach alluded to. Well, you got 32 in a class, and when you say these are the final four, this is the best of the best, and let's just see who's gonna be left standing.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of joked about this all year that whenever the players get hyped up in the tunnel, and you may or may not be able to hear Vincent and I in the booth kind of share our emotion. I mean, we get hyped up too. Like, no, we don't pour our blood, sweat, and tears the same way these players and coaches do. But, I mean, we have gone through this ride with them too. And this is so cool to see this great group of kids, this great group of coaches, and this great community get rewarded for their hard work and everything they've done because they deserve this.
You got the best seat in the house too.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good seat.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. Really, I mean, I think I've known Chalmer for about five years now, and every year since 2020, I mean, they've only gotten better every single year, and it's only natural progression is to keep going up until you can't go any farther, and the nothing farther than a gold ball. So, no pressure, but but yeah, it's been really cool to see what he has done, what this community has done.
Thanks, Ben.
Vincent?
Chalmer, let's talk a little bit. I mean, we talked a little bit about Wagner earlier, but let's talk a little bit about him. I mean, what are the keys to the game? I mean, I know we'll talk about that later in the week, but talk a little bit, right now as we sit here on Monday night, what are the keys to the game and what is it going to take for us to take that next step? Obviously, like you said, like Glenn said, I mean, we went from, first round, second round, now we're in semis, the last couple of years progression. Now we're at a spot that Elgin football has never been in, and what is it going to take for us to – because there's one more stop. We got to, it's great and all. We've got to the semifinals, but – the ultimate goal is to hold up that gold ball. So what is it going to take for the Owls to be playing next week on next Saturday?
Yeah, we talk about, the bigger the game gets, the bigger the little things are, whether it's footwork or ball security or things of that nature, and that's what it's gonna take. Wagner's extremely good, and when you play in December, you got to be able to run the football and play good defense, and we've got to lean on our strengths. We've got to be able to tackle. We've got to be able to move the chains and do some things that you got to do in big ball games. We've had a lot of games that were, one-sided, and our guys need to understand that it won't be that way. I mean, it's a semifinal game in 4A. It's going to be tough, and there's going to be moments that you got to trade punches. But the main thing is we got to do the big thing. Do the little things in a big way. Take care of the football and rely on those things that are our strengths. And that's the main thing, because you want to win it all. You got to take care of the football and do those things.
And like you said, I mean, we've done a great job, Glenn. Sorry, we've done a great job all year. I mean, yeah, we haven't been in many close games, but at the end of the day, I mean, in some of those games, like I said, last week, 7-6, and then all of a sudden, before you blink your eyes, it's 21-6. Weatherford kind of in close there for a little bit, and then we kind of pulled away. Every time we've been punched, we've counterpunched and come back. I mean, talk about the importance of that this week, though, because, like I said, this is, on paper, probably the best team we've played so far this year, outside of maybe MacArthur. But, talk a little bit about what it's going to take and how, taking those first punches and having that counterpunch available for us.
Yeah, I think we've done a good job since the summer of preaching and harping on those things where, it's going to be tough. If we want to, reach our goal, it's going to be tough. And you're going to have moments where things don't go your way. And we responded really well last week, maybe too much. I thought we were a little antsy early.
Yeah.
And I think that's another great learning moment that our kids soak in really well week to week. And they just got to be prepared for it. And I think our coaches are doing a tremendous job of preparing them for that, all the scenarios and situations that may arise Friday night. But that's what it's all about. And the way they've prepared so far, I don't doubt them at all. And they know it could be tough. And if it is tough, that's the way we want it. But you just got to be able to kind of weather the storm sometimes. And to do that, we've got to be good up front on both sides of the ball. And I think if we can do that, we can, find our footing. And that's the main thing.
Chalmer, I was going to ask, they often talk about the difference between great teams and great programs. Great teams are like comets. They flash and they're gone. People will say, oh, that one really good blank high school team, versus saying, oh, those teams from that era or that program. It's all in the consistency. When you look at the teams that are left in the Final Four, I mean, I was looking today. I think I've been in Lawton, I think, just about 8 years. And in the past 7 to 8 years, Tuttle's played for a title or won a title. Bethany has played for a title. Wagner has won, I think, like two or three since I've been here. And then you got Elgin. What do you think that says about where this program is, where it's heading, and y'all's place at the table among kind of those brand names, if you will, in 4A and just around the state?
Yeah, I think it goes back to us being really consistent from day one on what we wanted to do and what it takes to get there. Because you can't cut any corners. So, if you want to be a mainstay, you've got to do things the right way, even when it is hard, even when you're not any good, to build it. And I think we've done a really good job of that from our players to our coaches and the program. And so we're going to continue to do that. And, I believe that the recipe's been good so far, and we believe in it. We put some thorough thought into it to get us to where we are. But obviously we have tremendous players, and that helps when you're building something. But to be there and to stay there, we talked about we want to practice on Thanksgiving every year. Coach Castro said, let's make that a tradition. And we got to continue to believe in it and just be consistent with it. And, Rome wasn't built in a day. You can say that. All these guys that have been there, done that, they would tell you that they built something too. And it just takes time, and I'm proud of where we're at, and I'm proud of where we're going.
Kind of wrap this one up. Let's talk a little bit straight into the camera to the community and, tell them what they mean and what they need to do on Friday to help support you guys and get us over that hump.
Yeah, from the parents to the community to Hillary to all the other people that aren't named that are been behind us since day one. We appreciate you, and that's what it takes. Talk about being at the top and staying at the top. It takes that, and I've said this town's always kind of been begging for a football program to be proud of and to rally behind, and we certainly are doing those things right now, and really cool time to be a part of it. And not one person done this. It's took a lot of years and a lot of different people to get to this point. And I could go down a laundry list of people that brought me here, got me here, and our coaches here, and our players grew up through the ranks. This my first 7th grade class. They're going to be seniors now. And it just takes time, and from you guys jumping on and always being there, parents. I mean, it's just incredible, and we appreciate it, and we need it, and we need it Friday in Ada.
huge shout out to the quarterback club. I mean, those guys, put in countless hours. A lot of things behind the scenes that goes into the meals and all that kind of stuff. So shout out. I don't think we've mentioned them tonight by name, but definitely want to give them a shout out because it's phenomenal, the little things that they do. Like you said, little things in a big way that they do for not only the boys, but I mean even extending all the way to the 7th and 8th and 9th grade teams and JV teams as well. So definitely wanted to give those guys a shout out. President Brian Begley out there, I'm sure he's watching. So congratulations to those guys and. Coach Wyatt, it's been a fun year so far, but we got a big one Friday, and hopefully that one goes the way that we want it to go, and we'll be right back here or somewhere close here in Elgin next week to do this all over.
Let's do it. Let's call it a day.
There you go.
That's right. Well, we want to thank the Rising Eagle Brewery here in Elgin for supporting us and letting us have their back patio for our impromptu. Thanks for switching to Monday here for me to see our schedule for a coach's show. And also Principal Curtis Laura, be able to come here and support. We appreciate that as well. Don't forget, we made the announcement at the beginning of the broadcast. This will be an audio-only presentation, unfortunately, because NFHS has exclusive, and they are going to use that, exclusive rights. So if you do really want to watch it, you'll have to pay the $11.99 for the monthly subscription to go watch it. But if you want to listen to our great broadcasters, that they've done all year, it's like listening on the radio. You'll get to see them this time instead of the game. And
Glenn, you got that radio voice ready?
You got that. All right.
I've got a face for radio.
Wait,
it's going to be
it's
going to
be on us. So
yeah. Yeah, no, I've told people if you want to watch the game, you can either come to Ada or watch it on NFHS.
Yep.
If you are just absolutely married to hearing Vincent and I, you can watch it on NFHS
and
play our broadcast.
There you go.
in the background.
That's right. I like that too. So you can do that. All right. Thanks to everyone participating in the Coach Show. I'm going to leave you debuting it before any social media gets to it because I've been kind of doing all of our 5 teams of our semifinal hype videos. I want you to watch the slow motion of Ritzenmeyer's run in this particular one. So we'll see you next week. That's right. I'm going to put a stamp on it right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Are you ready to see somebody's need for speed? I can put our wings in the wind faster than you could ever believe. Are you ready to rock? From the don't ever stop. We are on a crash course of freedom that's running on as long as we want. Drop hands and let go. Hands up, wind blows. Soundtrack, stone cold. Sit back and turn it up, like here we go. Calling all my friends for the holders. Revving up the engine. We ain't going nowhere sober. Fast cars and wild hearts, a better life. Heading to the top, you'll see us. Trying to be the best, no secret. Never just a race to keep it. Fast cars and wild hearts, a better life. Are you ready to move? Now that we got you loose, I can hear the birds waking early to saying that it's never too soon. So are you ready to rock? For the don't ever stop. We are on a crash course of freedom and we can go as long as we